The segment started with laughter, but it did not stay funny for long. A clip of Donald Trump came up on the screen, and once again, he was reaching back to Barack Obama, pulling him into the moment like an old argument he still could not leave alone.
The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard, what they did to this country. And
now listen up. I'm serious. Listen up. You've got an older gentleman who is supporting his candidate. He's not doing nothing. Our sights were set a little too high. But that's what we did.
Send them a little note. It's not so easy up there to do what I did, right?
One thing is for certain. Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question. I remember buying diapers. I remember the first time I went in the store right after Malia was born. I was like, what? That's how much diapers cost? I remember changing diapers. You think Donald Trump ever changed a diaper? I almost said that, but I decided I shouldn't say it.
Trump was trying to turn an old rivalry into a fresh distraction, bringing up weakness, Iran, failed leadership, cash payments, bad deals, and the same old idea that he was the only person who truly understood strength. At first, the audience laughed because the rhythm felt familiar. Trump's attacks always came with that same absolute confidence, like saying something loudly enough automatically made it true. But then the screen changed. Obama appeared, calm and steady, speaking in that measured way that never felt like he was trying to chase the loudest voice in the room. He said America was already great, already strong, and that its greatness did not depend on Donald Trump or on any one person. And just like that, the studio got quiet because the contrast was obvious. Trump's argument was built around one man. Obama's answer was built around the country. Trump wanted every crisis to prove how important he was. Obama reminded people that democracy is bigger than one personality, one campaign, one grievance, or one man constantly demanding applause. The host let the clip sit for a moment, and then the segment moved into the Iran comparison. It showed Trump years earlier warning that weak leadership could push America toward conflict, and then later attacking Obama's Iran deal like it was a total disaster. That was when the room started to understand the point. Trump had spent years using Iran as a political weapon, but when the tension returned, his old words began to sound different. They did not feel like prophecy anymore. They felt like a standard he had created for someone else, and now had to stand beside himself. Obama did not even attack him personally, and somehow that made the moment hit harder. He talked about leadership as responsibility, not performance. Strength was not just sounding tough at a rally. Strength was having the discipline protect lives when the stakes are real, respecting allies, telling people the truth, and understanding that war talk is not entertainment for a cheering crowd. By then, the audience had stopped laughing.
I don't think it's restricted, by the way, to Mr. Trump. I mean, I find it interesting that everybody's focused on Trump primarily just because he says in more interesting ways what the other candidates are saying as well.
For older viewers watching from home, that message hit differently. They remembered presidents who chose their words carefully because they understood that presidential words could move markets, soldiers, families, and allies. They knew strength was not always about being loud. Sometimes strength was restraint. Sometimes it was patience. Sometimes it was refusing to turn fear into applause. Then Obama's line came back on the screen. America is already strong. The host said that sentence hurt Trump more than any insult could because it cut away the emotional hook he always relies on. Trump often talks like the country is weak unless he is praised, broken unless he is obeyed, and humiliated unless he is attacking someone. Obama's line rejected that whole idea. America's strength did not need to borrow confidence from Trump's ego. The room started clapping slowly, and then the segment showed Trump's reaction. Anger at the media, attacks on Obama, claims that he had done more than anyone else, and complaints that people still would not give him credit. But the more Trump fired back, the more Obama's calm line seemed to grow. Trump wanted the fight to be personal. Obama made it about the Constitution. He spoke about democracy, and the tone in the room completely changed. Public office, he said, is service, not revenge. The Constitution is not a prop for one man's mood. Institutions are not enemies just because they limit power. Critics are not traitors just because they ask questions. A democracy survives when leaders understand that the office is bigger than the person holding it. Nobody was laughing anymore. That was where the segment landed the hardest. Obama did not need to shout Trump down. He slowed the whole spectacle down and reminded the room that greatness is not some slogan one man gets to own. It is a responsibility shared by millions of people. It belongs to voters, workers, teachers, veterans, parents, and everyone who keeps believing the country, even when politics turns ugly. Then came the line that froze the room. Obama said that if your strength depends on making everyone afraid of what happens without you, then what you're defending is not America. It is your own importance. The audience went silent, and then the applause started rising. The line worked because it named the real difference between leadership and grievance. Trump wanted the country to believe it needed him personally to survive. Obama reminded people that democracy was built for something stronger, laws, limits, and a country bigger than any one man.